Yeah, good checking. Good checking that. While your dress hangs out of your door. Oh, seriously? Oh, now we can't get in or out. Alright. I guess this time I have to go this way. All the way over here. Unless they've blocked that. Holy shit! How does one get the fark in or out now? Wow! It's gonna be the most annoying thing ever for these businesses. Jeez. Alright. Guess it's back to the main road. Whatever. One way. Yeah, nice of you to make that so obvious. That little sign, can barely see that thing. This is not an obvious traffic circle, yet obviously they've tried to replicate it. There's a lot of obvious stuff that's not so obvious, huh? So one of the channels I subscribe to is the Vegas Biker. And I liked a lot of his previous content. I say previous because it's changed. People are still jumping those lights, including me. How about that? Oh, damn, boing. Anyway, Vegas Biker. He did a lot of funny stuff, like he carried a squirt gun around with him, and he'd get himself nice, dude, nice. Get himself caught up in traffic on the strip and would randomly squirt people. Just, you know, people crossing the road directly in front of them or whatever. Just little pedestrians. You just squirt them. Nothing dangerous, just a squirt gun, right? Just give them a squirt. And a lot of their actions are pretty funny. People had no idea what the hell was going on or where it's coming from, and you know, they'd be startled, but you know, most of them laughed, and it was funny. It was funny as hell. And people that recognized him would actually ask for it. It's pretty good. But suddenly the channel just went dark. He just stopped posting. He said he was done. Life was getting in the way. You know, the channel got big unexpectedly and is becoming too much of a hassle and an obligation, and he was just done with it. Which, okay, fair enough. Some people don't want to deal with it. That's not what they set out to do. It was just a hobby thing. Okay, fine. But then, a few months later, he starts posting videos. There's a lady with the dress hanging out again. Sorry, I got distracted by a neon with a dress. It's usually a PT Cruiser, but okay, whatever. So he starts posting up videos again, and it's all like F the police type of stuff, you know? It's like, it's him riding by a cop and holding out the middle finger proudly to them, just to bait them. It's like, there's a few other like that, where he shows up at the site of, you know, where a cop has somebody pulled over, or, you know, there's something going on, and he just baits them. He just sits by and films, waiting for them to say something so he can start in about his rights to, you know, I don't think anybody really understood. Anybody got it. Nobody really gets down with that. I mean, of course you're going to get the crazies. Right on, brother, you know, F the police, blah, 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 the whole culture of this stuff. But the last one he posted, it's just him across the street from where a bunch of cops have got something going on. And he's filming with his helmet cam. And he's got his phone filming from the curb with the flash on, so, you know, it's going to be obvious, right? And in the light of the flash, he's writing in chalk on the sidewalk a bunch of slogan crap. And it's all baiting the police, you know, under the guise of free speech and right to protest, all that stuff. And I think a lot of us that had initially subscribed to his channel were very confused about what was going on. It just didn't seem to make any sense. A lot of folks left, and he just doesn't care, which, okay, fair enough. Well, just from discussions that I've read on his channel and other locations, it seems like what happened is that he got threatened by a cop over his squirt gun. And it may even be something where there's still legal proceedings going on over this. But it just completely threw him for a loop. I don't know what happened, if he got knocked to the ground and cuffed and threatened or what. I don't know how deep it went. But it seems like something that would have been pretty damn disastrous to make somebody just kind of flip their wig like that, or just flip the switch and suddenly go nothing but anti-cop and cop-watching sentiment on their channel. It's the only thing I can think of. Anyway, based on some of his responses to his subscribers, you know, asking, what the hell, dude? You know, his responses start to smack of somebody who's just a bit on the crazy side. You know, you need to wake up, you're living in a dream world, you know, we're all... you know, you're all slaves, blah, 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 blah. And it seems to me what he's trying to do is that, I don't know if it's intentional or if he's really setting out to do this or not, but I just get the sense that he's trying to build support for some kind of grassroots movement, some kind of civilian uprising, if you will, encouraging civil disobedience in the name of getting the cops to straighten their act up or something. I don't know. But it struck me as I'm going through this that what he's looking to do can't be done from the civilian side. It cannot be done. The changes that you're alluding to with these posts and these videos can only be made from the top. You have to be the man, right? You got to be chief of police or higher. You got to promote or be elected to, you know, sheriff. You know, you got to work your way up to a position where you can influence those changes. Current chief of police has instituted body cams for the cops. Now they're not across the board yet because they are expensive for them. They can't afford all of them just yet. But it's been said publicly, this is going to happen. This is the deal. And you're going to be on board with it. And it's funny, you know, some of them say, oh, you know, big brother, blah. It's funny coming from a cop to hear that kind of complaint. And I'd wager that's the bad ones that Vegas bikers trying to rail against. But at the same time, I see this current chief of police doing something good. I see him trying to make a difference and trying to improve the situation. He's doing what he can from his position. Us moto vloggers, though, out here on the road, us civvies, we don't have that ability. We can't create a grassroots movement. We can't instigate some kind of mass civilian uprising. None of us are that popular. None of us are that influential. And even if we were, even if we did kick something off, some kind of massive protest, let's all march down Las Vegas Boulevard and block it off. It's not going to do anything. It won't change a thing. It's just more baiting. More trying to get the cops to do something outlandish or foolish on camera so they can bitch and moan about police brutality and profiling, blah, 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 blah. You know what? I say bullshit for that. I respect you, Vegas biker. I understand. I do. But the way you're going about it, it's not helping you out, dude. I've seen some other guys, other moto vloggers. They take their camera footage and they post publicly footage of other people doing very stupid things. And many of them don't even bother to hide the plates. In fact, some of them call them out, like I do. And that, I think, is the real power of our channels. I think if we had the power, if we had that kind of influence, right? We had that kind of subscriber base. You became a well-known figure around the city. People start behaving around you as if you're a figure of authority. I come up on somebody, you know, let's say I'm super popular in this city. That's not my goal necessarily, but let's say I'm super popular. And I look over and this person is texting while driving. They look over, they see me, recognize me, and immediately stop. Like they put down the phone and get on with driving. Because they don't want to see their mug and their plates and that recognition up on YouTube. Like, they recognize me for a reason. They don't want to be in that crowd, right? They want to be on the other side laughing at that crowd. To me, it seems like you could do much more good from a civilian standpoint in helping the cops. You know, if you're worried about brutality, you're worried about how they're not doing their job, then get yourself to a point where you can help, right? They don't need to see you as a cop. They just need to be embarrassed. They need to suddenly realize what they're doing and take personal responsibility for what they're doing and just stop it, right? That's all anybody really wants, is for people to just start obeying the damn law. So, in light of that, when I caught sight of the latest post from Yummy R6, in which he is trying to start, ironically, his own grassroots movement to raise awareness, to raise awareness isn't the word, to raise the level of respect for police, for what they do, the sacrifices that they make, and the risks that they take every damn day for something that's just a J job for most of them. You know, just because they're a cop doesn't mean they have these lofty ideals about truth, justice, and the American way. You know, honestly, a lot of them just wanted to make a difference. And at the same time, by the time they get on the force and they're on the beat, it's just a job. It's a paycheck. They're just doing what they're told. But in return for that, they don't just get a paycheck. They also assume the risk that their lives are you know, could end at any moment from some lunatic who's out to F the police. So, when I saw Yummy's video about spending support, recognition for the police officers, I decided to join in on it, which is why my avatar, the Weezl, now has a blue line through it. A thin blue line, one might say. It's not some artsy-fartsy design decision. No. It's a show of support. I am on board with that guy's movement. It makes sense. So, if you're out there, you got yourself a YouTube channel, even if you're not a motovlogger, even if you have nothing to do with motorcycles, and you just stumbled across this video, or maybe his, make up your own mind, you know, see what you think. But I'd love to see this thing, such a positive thing, gain some traction, start spreading like wildfire. I mean, holy crap, it happens on Facebook all the time, right? I mean, there are still icons, there are still avatars out there have rainbow overlays after the Supreme Court decision to legalize gay marriage across the board. Not that there's anything wrong with that. No, there really isn't. I'm not going to change my avatar with rainbow colors because the big change has been made. There's no reason to bother with messing things around to support it. It's done, right? But this thing with police, cops getting shot, beaten, bludgeoned, just generally attacked, it's getting out of hand. And most of it's just copycat bullshit. You know, it's like after Columbine, you know, we started having all these shootings in schools, and then it translated to public places. You know, it's all about the notoriety. People want their name in the news, and they want to go down in infamy. And now it's switching over to the police, and it's not right. It's not how you address those bad seeds, those power mongers in the force, you know, the ones who popularized the terms, you know, like excessive force. You can't fix that by creating more negativity, right? You fix it by making it unpalatable for them to be like that with their partners, with their peers, with their superiors. After all, even the chief of police, you know, whether they're elected or promoted, their paychecks are still paid by the taxes. They're still there to serve the people. You don't make change with violence. It doesn't happen that way. It just makes them nervous and makes them want to crack down. Now they're out to protect themselves just for being cops. What you need is for them to protect their image because they're cops. To understand that we recognize the sacrifices, that we recognize they could be a positive influence in the community. You do that by showing overwhelming support, and then specifically withdraw it from those people who abuse their authority. And it makes it that much more obvious to their peers what's going on. And they'll end up shunned. Because when the community no longer supports them, that's when changes start being made, right? You don't show lack of support with violence. You show it by lack of support. But you gotta make the actual support obvious first before its absence means anything. Make any sense? No blinker, can't even go the speed limit. Dopes. So that's my rant for today. And if you're a fan of motovlogs and you haven't seen any of his stuff yet, I highly recommend Yummy R6. This is a very fun channel. And now since he's taken off this movement, now more than ever, absolutely check it out.